Hey everyone, my Valley thoughts that no one asked for, but I have no one else to talk to about it. So I talk to you, the world that I have no clue who watches these. Let's go. I just finished episode 12 of The Valley, and I have some thoughts coming out of this episode. The first one's really being that Jesse's not wrong in this episode. As much as Jesse is not a good man in most of this season and show, he had some very valid points. Now, I'll begin this by saying I am a stepmom to 3 kids so I feel like I uniquely understand the dynamic of step families, which are always different, and every single one is their own case scenario. But I had a very, very solid, they're all grown up, but I had a rule about them, and I stick to this rule to this day, which is I would never do something with my stepchildren or for my stepchildren that if another woman did for my child, I would be hurt, offended, or fill in the blank, angry about. So that's kind of how I live my life. It doesn't mean we don't do nice things here, but for example, I'm not going to plan a surprise birthday party with all their friends for a birthday if I never talked to the other party about it. Like if my husband wanted to do that, but I would not take it on myself, because if another woman did that for my child without me knowing, not asking, I would be very upset. So when it comes to the photo situation, I actually have to agree with Jesse on this. I think it was in poor taste. I think that more interesting in the after show, it's very clear that Michelle knew it was Father's Day, like did something that was Father's Day related. And I don't know, in general, I just would never post a photo of someone else's child without their permission, without them saying yes. And I think doing it on Father's Day also is just like not okay. So I will give him that. I think that is something that I would generally be upset about also. Um, Another thing with the Jesse, Aaron, okay, what's with Aaron's eyeballs? Like, it's something's just weird. I don't know what it is. I feel so horrible because maybe it's probably just part of him that he cannot change, but there's just something odd about it. I'm like, are you constantly using a herbal refreshment that is causing your eyes to do that? I don't know, but it's a little odd to me. The other thing I will say is I don't think Aaron is stupid. I think Michelle, probably after she got her lawyer, realized, or the lawyer realized, how this show and what was shown on the show could be used in divorce proceedings. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just have this feeling of that, which is why I still do not believe that something that happened with Michelle and Aaron. Sorry, I totally agree with Jesse on this one. Prior to their marriage, officially, like them severing their relationship. And the reason why is I think like Aaron is not stupid enough to say that live on camera on a TV show while his girlfriend's actively going through a divorce, right? I think that's something that comes out after the divorce is done. Um, yeah, that's just my 2 cents there. I still do believe that they were together prior. I do think, though, that most likely that is why. So those are my 2 cents about all things Jesse. In other news, I think Brittany completely turned the engagement stuff into a me story. And what I mean by that is like she was not the center of attention and she had to redirect it to some type of way that group offended or hurt her over the engagement. Like my first reaction if someone told me one of my best friends, also best friend, you have really not shown up for Kristen at all. Matter of fact, you just recently let Janet like scream at her in a restaurant and did nothing saying like said like one thing. Like if you love this girl and call her like a sister, like you're not acting like that to her right now. But that's beside the point. I just think like if that was my best friend, my first reaction would be, "What? I can't believe you didn't tell me." or I can't believe you decorated without me. Like, it's just giving I need to be the main character energy at all times. And I'm just not here for that. So, this is not my favorite episode for her. Again, she's going through a lot. I'm sure maybe she's just very emotional with everything happening. I like cannot imagine trying to divorce that man and what that might be like. But with that, it was just a very odd reaction to your best friend getting engaged. So that's my 2 cents on that. I liked the engagement. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny that like they're like that poor Nina is like trying to get her to like shower and put makeup on and do all that stuff. I thought that was hysterical and I kind of loved it. Um, and yeah, and I love Kristen. I'm just loving Kristen lately. I don't know. She's just like it's her show and we're just living in it and I'm here for that. Also a show with like barely any Jax is like probably my favorite episode ever. So yeah, we don't need Jax. Like, can we just like let him go bye-bye forever, please? All right, those are my thoughts on last night's episode of The Valley. Well, that I watched last night, but this week's episode of The Valley. So, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Where do you agree with me? Where do you disagree with me? And what am I missing from the episode that you thought was important or good? Also, not a lot of Janet in this episode, and again, I was totally happy with her not coming to that dinner. All right, let's talk.